Silent pause. The strongest people are often the quietest when emotions explode around them. Most people think mental strength looks loud, fearless, and unstoppable, but the truth is almost invisible. Imagine someone insults you in front of everyone. Your heart races. Your mind demands an instant response. Most people obey that feeling without realizing their emotions have taken control. Mentally strong people do something that feels almost unnatural. They pause, just for a moment. That tiny gap gives logic a chance to catch up with emotion. Neuroscience shows that emotional reactions happen faster than rational thinking, but a deliberate pause helps the thinking part of the brain regain control. It may only last a few seconds, yet it can completely change the outcome. The real danger is believing every feeling deserves immediate action. A single angry message can destroy years of trust. A rushed decision can change a life. That silent pause rarely looks impressive, but it quietly protects relationships, careers, and peace of mind. Private discipline. Success usually disappears the moment nobody is watching. Anyone can stay motivated after receiving praise or attention, but what happens in an empty room reveals real mental strength. Imagine two people with the same goal. One works only when inspired. The other keeps showing up even when the excitement has completely vanished. Weeks later, the first person starts searching for shortcuts, while the second keeps making small improvements nobody notices. The gap seems tiny every day, yet it grows into something enormous over time. Psychologists often describe habits as automatic systems that reduce the need for motivation. Mentally strong people rely on those systems instead of waiting to feel ready. But here's the problem. Motivation is unpredictable. It disappears when life becomes stressful, boring, or uncomfortable. Discipline survives those moments because it depends on decisions instead of emotions. The quiet routines repeated in private eventually become the achievements everyone else calls talent. Selective attention. Every day, your mind is fighting thousands of invisible battles for attention. Notifications appear. Opinions flood social media. Bad news competes with impossible standards. Most people never realize how much energy disappears simply by reacting to everything. Mentally strong people protect their attention like a valuable resource because they understand it shapes every decision they make. Imagine carrying a bucket with tiny holes. Every distraction leaks a little more focus until nothing meaningful remains. This is where it gets worse. Modern technology is designed to keep you emotionally engaged for as long as possible. Every click rewards the brain with small bursts of pleasure, making distraction feel productive even when nothing important gets done. The silent habit is choosing what deserves attention and ignoring everything else without guilt. That ability creates calm in noisy environments and allows difficult goals to become possible while everyone else feels mentally exhausted. Comfort with discomfort. Most people spend their lives escaping discomfort without realizing they are also escaping growth. The first sign of uncertainty makes them quit. The first failure convinces them they are not capable enough. Mentally strong people see discomfort differently. They treat it as evidence that something valuable may be waiting on the other side. Imagine entering a cold swimming pool. Every instinct tells you to run back to warmth, yet after a short time, your body adapts. The mind works in a surprisingly similar way. The more often you face controlled discomfort, the less power fear has over you. But here's the problem. Avoidance feels safe in the moment, yet it quietly teaches the brain that challenges are dangerous. Over time, your world becomes smaller because your comfort zone becomes your prison. Silent courage is rarely dramatic. It simply looks like choosing the difficult conversation, the harder workout, or the uncertain opportunity instead of the easy escape. Detached from approval. One of the heaviest burdens people carry is the constant need to be liked. Every decision becomes filtered through the question of what others might think. Mentally strong people slowly free themselves from that invisible prison. They still value relationships, but they refuse to let outside opinions control their identity. Picture a tree standing through every season. Some people admire it, others ignore it. Storms bend its branches, yet its roots remain deep. The tree never changes direction just because the wind changes. The real danger is building your confidence on praise, because praise can disappear without warning. If your self-worth depends on applause, silence begins to feel like failure. Mentally strong people measure themselves using personal values instead of public approval. That quiet shift creates extraordinary freedom because criticism becomes information rather than a personal attack, and compliments become appreciated rather than desperately needed. Owning mistakes. Nothing exposes insecurity faster than the desperate search for someone else to blame. Excuses protect the ego for a few moments, but they quietly steal the chance to improve. Mentally strong people do something that feels uncomfortable at first. They admit mistakes quickly and honestly. Imagine two drivers causing the same accident. One spends hours defending every decision. The other immediately asks what could have been done differently. Months later, only one of them has actually become safer. Research on learning consistently shows that honest feedback accelerates improvement because the brain begins solving problems instead of protecting pride. But here's the problem. The human mind naturally wants to defend its own story. Accepting responsibility feels painful because it challenges how we see ourselves. Yet that temporary discomfort becomes long-term strength. Every mistake transforms into useful information instead of permanent regret, and every setback becomes another lesson instead of another excuse.